kitchen door and I'm outside of it and like this for like 45 minutes. Just standing in this position. Scared to go in there. And then I realized if there is a witch in the kitchen, she's not going to make one noise and then stand there for 45 minutes. She's going to continue to do evil things. She's not going to go, "Oh, dear, shitty." So finally I got the courage and I went in the kitchen and I heard the noise again, exactly the same noise, and it was the dishwasher. It's just for the dishwasher. Because it pushes suds into the sink a certain way. And then I was like, oh, I feel great. Because it's not a witch. There are not witches. And there's not, now I feel like there's nothing to be scared of ever. So I just go strolling up the stairs to my room, and then the most awful thing in my entire life happened. A bat flew in front of my face. And it's just unfair. Because I didn't have there's no context for a bat. I'm not in the bat cave. I'm in a house, and a bat and I went, like this. And the bat perched on a light fixture upside down, and he's just looking around. The awful thing about bats is that it's some dude, it's a guy. It's somebody. And he's looking around. I'm terrified. So I called 911. I don't know if you ever called 911 for like a subpar reason. But it's 2 in the morning, I'm in the country, so I'm doing it. I call 911 right away, I'm like, hi, I'm sorry. Hi, very sorry. Very sorry that I'm calling, I shouldn't be calling. The lady's like, what's your problem, sir? I go, there's a bat in my house. And she's like, oh, let's call this guy. Because it's country 911. New York City, if you call 911 and say, hi, there's a bat in my house, they go, sir, we're going to send a policeman right over to shoot you in the face. You suck. So they give me a number of this guy. I call this number, and the guy's like, hello? I'm like, hi, there's a bat in my house. And he goes, oh, girl. So about 20 minutes later, there's a knock on my door, and I open the door. This guy comes in. He's wearing thick pants and a thick sweater and these big orange rubber gloves. And he goes, where's the bat? And I go, he's still over there. So the guy walks over, and he just takes the bat. He just took it. He was like, all right. And I was like, yeah, you pretty much nailed it. Matter of fact, I love you. So that's what you do. If there's a bat in your house, just to stop having him in there. I don't like awful things that can fly. And can fly, it just ruins everything. I can tolerate anything that doesn't have wings on it. I'm fine with a big pile of shit, but a flying pile of shit, anything. Flying diarrhea, that would be pretty spectacular. Flying is somehow just flying diarrhea. That would be something worth seeing. I would pay $18. That's exactly my level. Anyway, rats. In New York City, there's rats all over the place. I was in the subway once on the platform waiting for my train, and there was two rats, and they were fucking on the platform. And I was watching them. Because you can watch rats fuck. With rats, you don't have to go like this. You just go, hey, look at that. You just go ahead and just watch them fuck. Yeah, that's how that happens there. Anyway, I was watching the rats fuck. I didn't miss my train or anything. I just watched it for a while. Because I was curious, what happens when the dude comes? When the male rat has an orgasm? Because I don't think the female rat has an orgasm. I have a feeling when rats come that the woman is left out of it. I don't think he holds off for her. I can't imagine a rat. What would a rat think about to keep from coming? Like big garbage bags with no food in them? But what, I was curious, what is the nature of a rat orgasm? Do rats just come like just, like is it just biological? Or are they like, oh, fucking yeah! And they, I don't like animals really. I had a dog when I was a kid. My dog hated me. It's very traumatizing to be a child and have your dog hate you because I took care of him. I was nice to the dog, so he must have just hated like who I am inside. You could tell he hated me because he was a very expressive dog. He had eyebrows. He was like a terrier. So I'd walk in a room and he'd be like, "Oh shit, I can't." Just leave him. I would take him for walks and I had to use a leash, and I didn't want to. I wanted to be one of those cool dudes with a dog and no leash. You know, there's always some guy in a suede jacket with shaggy hair, and he's like, "Hey, his dog just comes with him. Hey, it's my dog, you know." And he's got an old dusty pickup truck, and he gets in, whistles for his dog, he goes, you know those guys that can whistle? Woo! And the dog gets in the truck, and they both get laid somewhere. That's so cool. Fuck his dog. Anyway, that's what I wanted. I wanted for women to fuck my dog. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to go, but I had to use leash. And when we went for walks, my dog and I, the leash was like taut. It was just, there was no kind of like confidence, like we're cool. It was like, how far from this hideous child can I get in my face? We would walk and he would be choking himself. And if I ever stumbled and dropped the leash, he was gone. He was just like, "Oh, I'm not your dog." He would run like a slave, this dog. He would disappear. I'm sorry if that's offensive. It's accurate. I'm trying to be accurate. He didn't run like a deer. A deer run like this. A dog ran like this. You never want to see me again. And then you go to the dog pound. So, you know, you get a call from the pound. Like 20 times I went to the dog pound to get my dog. And I come around the corner, he's in the cage looking at me like, "Oh, fuck, please." Raccoon scratches on his face. It was worth it. He hated me. And then he got a tumor on his head and he died. Fuck you, dog. How do you like that tumor? Huh? We didn't even put him to sleep, we just let the tumor eat his head. Yeah. It took months. Good boy. He's like, that's getting heavy. It was hard for him. He had a hard time. I didn't care. I had a dog that my dog with my kids, and that dog died because dogs die, you know, and I had to tell the kids. You know, that was tough. It was hard to tell the kids about the dog dying, but it was a good experience. It's a good thing about pets is that they give you a chance to deal with death. You know, you get to talk to them about it and deal with it. It's kind of like a dry run for grandma. The dog dies and you talk about it. And then later you just go, "So you know all this stuff I said about the dog?" Yes, I'm grandma now. All the same stuff. But with grandma. Got it? Right, good. See you later. Yeah, you gotta, at some point your kids find out that you die. That's whatever happens in your life, you die at the end. That's how the story ends. You die. You gotta dig yourself whole. Make it a little bigger of a year. At some point you gotta, it's getting quiet in here. I found out that everybody dies when I was 7 years old. And I asked my mom and she said, yeah, because once you find out as a kid that everybody dies, your parents can't walk you back from that knowledge. And I learned it at 7 years old, 7. And then a kid across the street from me, he didn't know, he was 6. And at first thought in my head was, I'm going to fucking tell my kid. Because I hated him. First person I hated. I was 7, he was 6. He was a piece of shit, sucker asshole. That's how I felt about it. That's how I felt. I didn't even know those words. I just had that in my heart. That's how I felt. No words to it. First time I heard somebody say piece of shit, cocksucker, asshole, I was like, that's what bitch is. So one day Benji came over, he was being a dick. We're in my front yard and he was like, I have a fire truck. And I was like, yeah? Well, you're gonna die someday. That's a little harsh. But you know, once you have that nuke button to press, you just want to use it. Fire truck. Well, you're gonna die someday. And he's like, no, I'm not. I go, yes, you are. Everybody dies. You're gonna die, and your mom's gonna die, and your daddy's gonna die. In that order. He was very upset, started crying. Ran back to his house, and his mother comes out with him, and she says, what did you say to him? I said, I told him everybody dies. And she goes, that's not necessarily true. Grown woman. I was like, what? She said, some people die, but some people don't. I was like, what about like the people that were in the Bible? She said, well, a lot of them died, but some of them are around. I was like, really? And she goes, well, we have to go. And then she left because I think she realized she couldn't keep going down this road. She couldn't keep defending this idea. And I told my mom, and she was like, baby, don't worry. You're definitely gonna die. People in the Bible. The people that were in the Bible. Do you think people in the Bible knew they were going to be in the Bible? Do you think they had said, you guys, this is totally going to be in the Bible. This is amazing. We're going to totally be in the Bible! Having kids is a big responsibility. You got to teach them stuff, and a lot of stuff you don't teach them. They just find it out. They figure things out. Like I was trying to raise my kids right on some level, but who the fuck knows what that means? And also, they just do what they want. Like my youngest daughter, she's just figured out that you can lie sometimes. That's a tough one to put back in a box. Once a kid figures out that lying pretty much fixes all of your problems, that's a tough one to unteach. And she's good too. She's like, I did not take the chocolate. I'm like, fuck, she's really good at this. What do I do? Do I train her like a Jedi and just own it? Because I want her to be honest, but I don't want to take away the skill that will serve her. I don't know what to say to her, honey, if you don't lie, because when you lie, you hurt people if they find out that you lie. Mark Twain said, a man who always speaks the truth never has to remember what he said, which is great. But Mark Twain also said, there once was a big black guy and his name was Nigger Jim. So, whether we have to completely worship every word he said. I guess. Just being honest, really, was his name really Nigger Jim? Did you actually meet the guy? Did that look good in his name? I don't know. It seemed like a good name at the time. Yeah, thanks, Mark. Thanks for that, Mark. Thanks for putting everybody in that fucking pickle. My youngest daughter, she takes tap dancing lessons. We take her every week to tap dancing lessons because we figure by the time she grows up, it'll be the 1930s again. She'll have this thing that she can do that nobody wants to see. This tap dancing is really fun to do. I take my kid every week to tap dancing, and this is the experience of taking your child to tap dancing class. You go to the school, and you're in a hallway, and there's chairs along the side for the parents, and the kid goes into a room you'll never see the inside of. And you say, bye, and she goes, bye, and she goes inside, and you sit in the chair, and from behind the door you just hear. And then she